Hello everyone, this is Sumant. In this video, let's discuss inheritance in Python. So, from the name inheritance itself, you might have got some idea, right? We used to hear this word a lot in day-to-day life. Like for example, let's say we used to get properties from our parents, right? That's an example of inheritance. So, similarly, even in this object-oriented programming, we have a concept of inheritance. So, what's the use of this inheritance? So, the use of this inheritance is, so it provides reusability of the code, and also it makes the code looks good, and also it makes the code readable, right? So these are the advantages. And when we discuss an example, then you can understand the advantages of this inheritance. So let's start discussing an example. So I'm just using the same class which I have used in previous videos. So this is the class we have used it right in the previous videos, student info class, which collects the data, which collects the details of a student like name, age, then gender, and also it has a method like vote eligibility, which returns, like if the age is greater than 18, it returns eligible, otherwise it returns not eligible. So these are the method, and this is a class we have already discussed. And right now I'm creating another class. I'm just creating another class. I'm just giving the name of a name for this class as student1. I'm just giving that, like I'm just giving the name of this class student info here in the brackets. I'm just giving that name. This is the way you have to create inheritance, right? If you want to inherit something from the class, you can just mention that class name inside the brackets of this class, right? So then, like you can see, this is the class student1, right? And I have just mentioned the name student info here. So this is called as child class, or we can call it as subclass. And this student info, this we call it as parent class, or we call it as superclass, right? From we are inheriting this class inside the class student1, right? So this is called as parent class, and this is called as child class. And here for now I'm just giving pass statement. Now if I just check this class student1, so you can see the details about this child class student1. Here we got, you can see the order here, right? Method resolution order. So first we will have the child class, and next we will have this parent class, and you can see the methods inherited from student info, right? So since I passed the name of this class inside the brackets, you can see we have inherited everything present in this class, everything which we have in this class, like the attributes, name, age, gender, and also the method, vote eligibility. Everything is inherited to the class student1. So you can see all those things here. Methods inherited from student info. You can see this constructor _init method is inherited, and also you can see the method vote eligibility is also inherited. So that's how you can just inherit. So that's how you can just inherit something, right? Now let's try to access this. See, I'll just create an object of this child class student1. You can see, and here I'm just giving the details. Like first, if I just execute this, you can see we are getting the error like this init, like this method missing 3 required positional arguments, name, age, gender. So these are the arguments which are present in this student info class, right? Since we are just inheriting, even we have to mention those in this class. So here I'm just giving some random name. So you can see now if I just try to access like student1 dot name, you can see we got the name Hari, right? So that's how you can just inherit a class, and you can just use that class in another class. And also, for example, let's say you have to inherit this class, like you have to inherit this class and you have to use the features which are present in this class, and also you have to add some more features, right? So even you can do that. So here I'm just, instead of this pass, so I'm just copying this, see, and I have to add another attribute here. So I'm just giving that like fee, and here I just want to create an attribute, right? So here I'm just giving self.fee equal to fee. If I just give, now if I just run this, and again if I just run this, you can see we have to add this argument which we have given now. So I'm just giving like 25,000 as fee. Now if you just try to run this, yeah, you can see you can accept, right? You can just, so now we didn't get any error. If you want to access that, you can just give student1 dot fee. You can see we got that 25,000. So now if we just try to access this student1 dot name, you can see we got error, right? Student1 object has no attribute name. In the previous case we didn't get any error, right, when we try to run the same fashion, but now we are getting the error. What's the reason? So the reason is, in the previous case we didn't created this init, like we didn't created this constructor inside this child class, right? So what at that time what it assumes is everything present in the parent class, it inherited everything. Now we have created, right? So now we have initialized this name, age, gender, fee, right? So what it assumes is, what this child class assumes means, in the similar case how we given this self.name, age, gender, even we have to give that here, right? Then only we will not get any error, right? But if we just for example, let's say I'm just copying that, I'm just giving, now if I just run, you can see now we can just get the output without error. But that's not the case, right? Like the main reason for using this inheritance is to provide reusability of the code, right? And also making the code looks easier, like make this code looks readable, right? If you just do the same thing, there is no use of using this inheritance. So instead of giving this name, age, gender here, we can just call the constructor of the parent class. So instead of giving this name, age, gender, we can just call the constructor of the parent class. So how we can just call the constructor? There are two ways for calling the constructor, right? Here you can just give, like, by using the name of the parent class. So I'm just giving student info dot double underscore init of, like I'm just calling this parent class. This is how you have to call the constructor of the parent class. Like I'm just giving the name student info, the parent class name, and I have used this double underscore init of, and also I have given the arguments, and also I have given the attributes which are present in this parent class, right? Now if you just try to run, if you just try to print this, you can see even now we got the output without error. So when you are using some attributes from parent class in child class, you have to call the constructor of the parent class. This is one method of calling the constructor of the parent class, and even there is another method, right? I have said you, right, we will call this student info as parent class or super class. So we can just give, like, instead of this name student info, I'm just giving super of dot double underscore init. You can just use this super of, and when you're using this super of, by like if you are calling the constructor of the super class by using this super of, then you need to mention this, like you need to mention this name self here, right? So I'm just removing this self, and now I'm just running. See, you can see even now we can able to access this name student1.name. So that's what this inheritance. I have said you right at the beginning, the advantages of this inheritance means it provides reusability of the code. You can see I have written some classes here, like I have just defined the attributes and functions. Here I have just called the constructor of the class and I just pass it that name of the class here, and that's it. I can just use stuff like I can just use all those things in this class even, right? That's the reusability of the code. That's the advantage of using these classes. So that's it for this video. I hope you understood this inheritance in Python. This is the basic type of inheritance. Even there are different types of inheritance like multiple inheritance and multi-level inheritance. So in our next video, let's discuss those. If you understood this video, like the video, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.